Are we
Are
live?
we live? Are we live?
Yes, we are. Nice. Excellent collection. And we're live. Drones After Dark, Season 3, Episode 2. We're back. It's the COVID special because your boy has COVID. I got it
The
over the
co-
weekend and it sucks. It is just the worst. But we love everybody. We love our viewers. We love talking to our fantastic guests. We love Lewis. That's why I'm
so,
doing this.
what symptoms do you have right now, Bobby? How bad is your
Uh,
COVID?
let's see. I got a fever. My back aches. I've been coughing. There's a lot of phlegm in my throat. And got a lot of slob bunnies, in my throat.
Ugh. Um,
Have you ever
any
gotten
any
slob bunnies before?
no, I've had COVID, so I was told once, only one time. Um, but
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't as bad as some people, I guess, but it was just like like kind of like flu type symptoms. But you tried any home remedies for your COVID?
Oh, home remedies. Yeah, got some advice from you earlier today when I was complaining about not wanting to do the podcast. So I took a hot bath, felt pretty good, and then felt pretty bad afterwards. So yeah,
It was a temporary solution, I guess.
oh, yeah. So I won't be talking too much. Mostly just moderating comments and moving conversation forward. What's new with you? What's going on?
Not much, just same old. It's gets busy time around this time of year with the holidays and planning parties and stuff like that. So, but work wise, drone wise, everything's the same. A little excited about trying out the new streaming feature for the Avata that Drone Sense came out with. So I'm gonna try to tackle that this week, and
Okay.
because that's the only missing component with any of our units is being able to stream from the Avata. But you got some exciting news yourself, right? Skybrows?
Oh yeah, we've been releasing a lot of new products, getting a lot of positive feedback on them as well. So I think it was like what, a week ago we released paper model. So you can essentially make a bunch of 3D models for free still, and whenever you need a model, to say tools or sharing or any other things in the Skybrowse dashboard, you can unlock individual models. So instead of having to pay for like a subscription on a monthly basis, for the people that only need maybe a dozen models every single year, paper model would be the best bet. And best part is it starts at $3. So it's just cost effective for everybody. It's based off of the model size, file size, as well as the area mapped out. And you open up your model. There'll be a button to unlock it in the Skybrowse dashboard, and when you unlock it, it'll show you the different pricing that you can choose. So you can choose to subscribe or paper model or just stay freemium. Because ultimately, we're trying to make it real easy for anyone to make 3D models.
I don't think it can get any easier than Skybrows. And what about the whole sketch thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we released sketch drawings, mostly like a early access kind of deal, but it's now available on our website as well. So you can check it out right here on my screen. So you can see right here, sketch drawings. So you can just click on, these are just some demonstrations right here. You just upload any sort of image right here, and within seconds, you can see this is an accident done by Weatherford PD. They'll turn it into a sketch drawing. The paid version, the premium version right here, gives you really cool stuff. It gives you the scale bar down here, where 1 inch is equal to whatever the feet right here. It gives you a scale bar, and it positions the sketch drawing so that north is facing up right there. So pretty neat stuff right here. So instead of having to manually, import the point cloud generated by Skybrowse or any other point cloud made by a laser scanner, for instance, into software and then sketching on top of that, this does it automatically for you. So got a lot of interest on it already. A lot of new people have been asking about using it. So excited to see what everyone does with it and making the product better. It's been real hectic recently. A bunch of people signing up for Skybrowse and asking for quotes and all that good stuff.
No, the sketch features. It's definitely a cool feature. What about how long does it take when you click on that button to generate the sketch?
Oh, it should be like almost instantaneous, just a couple seconds for it to send your picture to our servers, and the algorithm will process it just like that. It's so quick.
No, definitely is a cool feature. When you shared it with me, I was pretty excited to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Goals to revolutionize tax investigation. Capture all that data in just a couple minutes, and then bring it back to the office. Process it in a few seconds. You got your sketch, you got your 3D model, you got your measurements, and everything. Make it super easy for everybody.
That's what Skybrowse
Yeah,
is about, right? Making it easy.
simplicity, exactly. But Skybrowse aside, let me just bust out the comments. Make sure. Oh, comments, nice. Hey, Will Kelly, how you doing? What's going on? Dave, how you doing as well? Got the comments out. Who else we got? We got somebody in the waiting room, don't we? Actually,
Yes, we
he's
do,
not in the
right?
waiting room.
Ooh, did you did you boot him out?
I did, but he's supposed to join back in again.
Well, that's his way of telling us he doesn't want to come back in.
All right. Drones After Dark, we lied to you. Wayne Baker's actually not here. It's
False
just us.
advertising. Well, that happens a lot in the drone industry, right? There's promises that are made that,
Oh,
a lot of promises that people can't keep, right?
oh,
Or,
you got some examples?
uh, there, there's a lot of software that claims to do, certain things to be done, but they don't. A lot of companies out there that, you're going to get me on this rant again about the smoke and mirrors. I think people are tired to hear about that.
Well,
I think
let's hold off on the rant because we have the one and only DJI's Chief Wayne Baker, DJI's Director of Stakeholder Engagement North America. Brand new
that's a
promotion. How you
that's
doing?
definitely a mouth. That's definitely a mouthful.
It is.
And I'm pretty sure everybody's wondering what that even means. Because before it was easy, Director of Public Safety, right? So Wayne, Public
Well,
Safety.
yeah.
Now it's just like it's a little more complicated.
It is in a way on the outside of it, but really, what's great about it is it's really not a lot's changing from what I used to do. I still get to go out and get with agencies around the U.S., but I'm able to work more holistically, as if I could act like I have an education. Um, I'm not just cornered into public safety anymore. I'm helping in a lot of other areas, a lot of other industries. So, um, stakeholders being everybody internally and internally. I'm in PR now, so I'm able to help get information out from DJI as well as in to our sales team, our marketing team, government relations team, and again, not just have public safety as an area to help with.
Hey Wayne, could
Hey
you move
Wayne, could you
your
move
mic
your
closer to your
mic closer
face?
to your face?
Oh, now you're echoing.
That's Lewis.
That's Lewis.
Lewis, your headphones disconnected. Guys, I swear, we do sound checks before this.
That
Oh, it
closer
did.
to my
All
face.
right, hold on. Maybe it was me. Hold on.
You gotta be eating the microphone. Oh man.
I got a problem with my laptop trying to close. That would be really bad. How's that?
It's good.
I don't want to be
It's
one
good.
of those guys that has the microphone,
Oh, okay.
I'm not,
not cool enough for the podcast.
well, I need to be bald and have my headphones sticking like 6 feet off my head.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
a
yeah,
Joe
absolutely.
Rogan.
Yeah, so a little background on how we met Chief Baker, I think in 2019, when I was invited over to the North Texas Council of Governments to do a presentation on Skybrowse. This is before Skybrowse was even, a product. It was just an idea, and met Chief Baker when he was fire chief at Joshua Fire Department, and got along. Ended up doing some demos together, traveling around, going to conferences, and now we live like 40 minutes away from each other. So, anything that I missed?
And yeah, I think that the first time I met you, I pulled up. You were at Garrett's house, and I'll have to find the picture, but you were parked in front of a fire hydrant, and I roll up in my Chiefs buggy. So good times.
Did he get yelled at?
No, no. I thought it was pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure
the Tesla.
Everybody must have a really good story about the first time they met Bobby.
Oh man,
mine isn't as exciting as the Chief story. I met Bobby. He was doing a presentation at a neighboring department, and I walked in and I knew him from online, and I walked in and I see him in person for the first time, and he's trying to figure out how he could connect his laptop. So he's trying to do the presentation, but he doesn't have Wi-Fi access at the department, and they don't have public access. So he couldn't really continue with his presentation because he couldn't connect his laptop to the internet. So I saved Bobby's day. I got my hotspot, connected it, and then we've been friends ever since. Right? All it took was a hotspot.
Yeah. Ever since we've been, catching up whenever I'm back in Jersey. Lewis was real sad when I moved to Texas. He really wanted me to stay in Jersey, but it's cold and miserable right now in Jersey. I went fishing yesterday. It was nice.
Well, you could have fished here yesterday too.
Shorts and
the fish would have came to you here because everything was flooded.
I was running around in shorts and a t-shirt.
It's a good life.
Here's a picture of Bobby with a cow.
What?
Bobby with a cow.
Me with a cow?
Looking for at Clay's Regan's. Remember he has cows?
Oh yes, feeding them cotton seeds. It's a good time.
Wait, I was there on that. Wasn't I there on that trip too? I was there too that day. That right? Or was this another time that we went back to Clay's place?
Been to Clay's a couple of times, so could have been one of the times. His cows were a lot friendlier when you met them. But yeah,
friendly cows.
Back to you, Chief. So what's going on? What's new? We just pretend nobody heard what you said because it was a little quiet.
Oh, well, actually, hang on one second. If I put a picture in the chat, will you be able to
Sure.
Put it up? Let me pull the chat up here. Oh, it's one of those stupid HEIC. See if it even works. Silly Apple.
Wait. What server are you using? Where's the server located where you're sending this picture from?
Amazon web server in Virginia.
Okay, good to go.
Data runs through. Yeah, I guess
there's a lot of people that don't know that.
Well, I tried. But anyway, yes. No, all of our data for, anything that is chosen to be shared goes through Amazon web servers. I can't say for a fact they're still Virginia, but last I knew they were out of Virginia. But with Amazon, they've got it spread out all over now. So
yeah, those are secure servers. Those are the same servers we use to host public safety data, evidentiary, crime scenes, all that good stuff.
Because they have met CJIS compliance, is that right?
Yeah, CJIS compliance, chain of custody. We use CloudWatch to log who accesses which model at any given time. So we have all that data necessary for evidentiary as well as public safety goods.
Does that mean that there's going to be lobbying now against Amazon servers?
I don't know.
The way American competition is, unfortunately, right now, that seems to be the model. When you look around, you see Facebook and Google doing it, trying to ban TikTok, and TikTok's something I can understand the concern there because it's an app on your phone, but we've moved away from using apps on someone's smart device to standalone controllers, which a lot of people like better anyway because it has the native screen, and now with the offline updates, things like that, it's gotten a lot better. Hopefully, we have more good things to come in the near future. But you know, data security is something we take very seriously, and we adhere to the strictest data security standards out there, and have been numerous times, as I'm sure you both know, validated by a lot of different independent organizations on data security, including Department of Defense. But for political reasons, that was yanked in 2 days after they came out with it. So, um, not that invalidates what they found. It just means it wasn't fitting the narrative that needed to be pushed in Congress.
Yeah,
I
I
think
remember we were getting In-N-Out Burger when you got the email saying that
Yeah,
the Department of Defense validated, that your drones were secure. It's crazy. Do you
yeah.
think that lobbying has negatively impacted, or just impacted in general, your day-to-day operations, DJI as a whole?
You know, the lobbying, uh, our greatest concern with it is the industry and how it impacts the industry. And by that, I mean everything from starting off with the police officer, firefighter on the street that's using our equipment that now, is having the freedom of choice taken away from them. Just like in Florida, where essentially what happened is the state took away the brand new pickup truck that they bought and told them, okay, now you have to go buy this little compact car at 2-3 times the price. And so, it was, in my opinion, pretty un-American. Took away a free market choice. It told police officers in the state of Florida that even though they had done their security risk analysis with their IT department, that Congress knows better, which ironically is the same people during the pandemic that were saying you can't legislate safety. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. So, it's bad for those customers and the lives that drones save. But then it's also bad for the industry that's grown up around drones. All of the third-party products, solutions, whether it be hardware or software that goes with it. And especially when some of these companies don't work well with others, and
oh yeah,
especially aren't going to work with third-party products. And so they're that's to me one of the worst parts of it is the damage to the industry at that point.
yeah. But even the
Yeah,
taxpayers, right? There's a huge impact on the taxpayers
Oh yeah,
because now departments like Florida as an example, right? They're spending double and triple on the equipment that they were using and it was fine, and now they're spending all that money on substandard
absolutely.
equipment, right? Stuff that they're buying just so they
Well,
can keep their programs up and running. But in reality, as far as like how productive are they with that equipment? The results they're definitely not the same, right? The success stories are not the same. It's just it's obsolete basically.
and I was talking to a reporter last week from, I believe, these Orlando area, and that's one of the things he talked about is, police departments got some money from the state, but fire departments didn't get anything to be able to buy other drones, and especially when their choice was limited to one, maybe two drones, contrary to even what Senator Wright in Florida, who sponsored the bill, that was not the intent of his bill. And now taxpayers are on the foot again for another unfunded mandate. It just seems really dictatorial to me. That's not a, to me, what a U.S. governor, the United States capitalist governor, that's more communist dictatorial actions like that.
Right, and it
Yeah,
makes
and
it
it's
even
affecting
scarier
the
when
end
he's
users as well. So, like Lewis, as an end user, a drone influencer, I know you've had your hands on multiple products out there from various manufacturers. What's your overall experience with it? What do you think is still the best, or is up there? On your tier list.
I I tell people all the time. I think the best platform, bang for your buck for public safety, has to be the M30. Um, Reliable, the hot swapping, just the flight time, everything. Just the camera, you can go on and on, right? I think it's the most reliable and most cost effective drone for public safety, right? I use mine almost every day. I'm using mine, right? And when the issue, I know that if I get a call out, it doesn't matter if I'm in bed sleeping and I get a call in the middle of the night and I have to go out. I know that when I power on that M30, it's going to fly, right? Obviously, at some point, if there's any damage to the airframe, maybe something will happen. But there's a 99.9% probability that I'm gonna power everything on. It's gonna fly. It's gonna do what I want it to do. Now, we can't say the same about others, right? I sent you a video the other day. I had the Paradanafi. Well, I'll share that video one of these days. I was messing around with the Paradanafi USA or whatever it's called, and it's got this. It looks like it's this antenna that they just at the end they were like, oh wait a minute, the federal government mandated this special antenna, and they just put it on at the end, and just doesn't make any sense, and it just feels flimsy. It doesn't feel reliable, and I'm not even going to get into the flight characteristics or anything like that, but yeah, the M30 by far the most cost-effective, reliable platform that exists right now.
And I'm going to add to that, in that I want to see a good American product that will compete. Competition drives the market, and we would have a tendency to get complacent and comfortable and not innovate, not push ourselves if we didn't have good competition. So, I love the guys over at Parrot FX. You know, great people. And I look to a lot of good things out of them in the future. There's other drone companies that are coming along that are more NATO friendly, and I'd love to work for a NATO friendly company. I love DJI; they've been good to me, um, but you know there is that competition fueling the market need that we do have. So if you look at it from the reality of it is that we do need the competition, but we don't need it in the way it's being gone about right now, where you legislate or try to legislate your competition out, and then you just give the users whatever you decide they need. It needs to be, you know, the capitalist supply and demand. If they demand your drone, then you supply it or make
Yeah,
the changes that they want.
imagine if all that lobbying money had actually been spent on R&D, right, or perfecting, the existing platform. How much better would it be, right? And it's the same, and we all know what companies we're talking about, right? It's the same product that's been out, right? And there's really not much advancement, right? But yet they're spending millions of dollars on lobbying, right? So it's just, it's frustrating because as the end user, luckily it hasn't affected us in New Jersey yet. But it would suck to be in Florida or in Tennessee or some parts of Texas, right? Where you can't. So if I was in those positions, I'd rather not have a drone program, at least until there's an American product that, that's reliable and it's safe to operate, right? And it's cost effective.
And I think you hit on another point there in when you mentioned Tennessee. So Tennessee and some other states followed along Florida, but they had phase out dates. If there's such a risk, if there's such an issue, why is there a phase out date? And that tells you right there it's political. There's never been any proof provided. Um, this is all, this is if I went and I listened to the latest Facebook rumor and then decided, TikTok is going to make you 17 more percent, 17% more anti-Semitic if you're on TikTok, according to Nikki Haley recently. I don't know where she came up with that, but I'm on TikTok quite a bit, and honestly, it's made me more supportive uh, of certain places like Israel, and we're just listening to lobbyists. It's the same old American. He who has the money talks, and I learned that even as a fire chief in a small city, that there is always going to be a key group of individuals that tend to fund campaigns, and that's where you get your elected officials.
Yeah, if definitely not the users, right? It's the people that are financially influenced are the ones that, unfortunately, are the ones that are making these decisions, right? And then even with groups, right? There's certain organizations out there that we thought that they cared about the end user and public safety, and they were you know fighting for us, right, to make sure it was that we weren't being taken out at the knees, right, and being forced to use equipment that we didn't want to use. But now it seems like there's a shift, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, no, yeah, now we don't now we support these guys. Like it's a lot of flip flopping, right? And then makes you wonder, was there any money behind that too, right? It sucks because none of the majority of these people, they're not the end users. They're not in public safety. They're not the ones that are out there using this equipment, right? But they're the ones that are negatively, affecting the whole industry, and it sucks. It really does.
You know, you know. Last week I saw an article where, and it was from back in March, so it's a little old, but March of 2022, Habersham County, Georgia, um, purchased a Mavic Advanced. Almost exactly to the day, 1 year later, they found a missing autistic child right next to a creek, and that's a life saved, because all too often autistic children get in their bodies of water and end up drowning, and this life was saved. And when we talked to I'm going to give a shout out to him because I think he deserves it. Kyle Nordfors out there in uh, Ogden, Utah area, Weber County Search and Rescue. As he told me the other day, he can put names to lives saved that wouldn't have been saved without DJI drones. And I'm not saying other lives haven't been saved by other manufacturers, but this is the game that is being played is going to cost lives, and that's the part that bothers me the most.
So we talk about success stories a lot, right? I know I bother you with it all the time. Unfortunately, I
Oh
wish
yeah,
some of the stuff could be
I love it.
shared, but we talk about it all the time. Do you think that if those success stories were shared, right, and the media picked up on it, and it just shared in all platforms, right? Do you think that still would have any impact on these legislators? Do you think that would still? You think that would make them change their mind?
I think it absolutely does, and that's one of the things with my change in job role that we're working on is doing a better job capturing and exploring those successes, those lives saved. Uses like you've had where, as you mentioned, you're getting called out or using your drone every day. You're not just putting it up. You're like catching the bad actor. You're out there not just using it, but using it to a good end in de-escalation in law enforcement, all of these things. So, we are really looking to get more of those live saves out, information out there. What we're finding with the politicians more than anything is it's a lack of excuse me, lack of understanding, lack of education about what the technology can do and does, and that's because of the misinformation that's being fed to them. And so when we're able to talk with them and explain Get public safety personnel that are on the front line. That's who they want to talk to, more than anything. And I understand, whatever we say, of course we would say that, but um, coming from the public safety personnel that are using it every day, that really makes an impact. And I think that's where we've seen a lot of success, like in Texas. When we had issues in Texas, Chief Kennedy from Chula Vista in California spoke both in California at their legislature as well as in Washington, D.C. So, unfortunately, we are seeing uh, legislation coming up with the American Security Drone Act being put into the National Defense Authorization Act. Um, and that is going to put limits on the use of, um, U.S. government funds for drones without approvals and waivers. But um, that again, that's unfortunate because it's going to create delays in getting life-saving equipment from all manufacturers into the hands of public safety.
But we were kind of already used to that
Yeah, and
because
government's already
the
slow
grant
enough.
yeah the grant money was already gone, right? So it's been already a few years that you couldn't apply federal grant money to buy drones, right? Chinese drones. So that was we're already kind of used to that. I'm just worried about what comes along with the other stuff that comes along with it, right? Um, and then you have states. The problem is
Yeah,
like then you have states that try to adapt that, and they're like, all right, well, if the federal government thinks it's a good idea, like Florida, then we should do it too, right? And I've told both of you guys this a lot. Like I get calls every once in a while where they're, hey, what do you recommend we should get? And I'm like, get the DJI, Mavic 3 or the M30. And their next comment is, oh, we're not allowed to buy Chinese drones. And I'm like, and then I look at my phone. I'm like, wait a minute, you're calling from a New Jersey area code, and you're not the federal government. What do you mean you can't? And then the response is, oh, because I heard. So it's the perception and even within
yeah,
public safety because I think even within public safety it needs to be more education, right? I think, and that's what these certain companies are doing, right? They're doing a really good
yeah,
job
yeah,
of with the legislators, and then they're really doing a good job. Like I love bringing up this example, right? New York, right? New York City. All of a sudden now they have a drone program because Skydio came into town, and I'll call them out because it's the truth. It's all out there, right? They come into town and now they have a drone program, and I'm like, wait a minute. NYPD and FDNY, they've had drones for years. They've been flying DJI equipment, right? But now all of a sudden, certain politicians are and taking interviews and camera shots and all this and that, and now public perception is, oh, New York just got drones and they got Skydio, so maybe we should do the same, right? And there was just a picture up last week, that partial building collapse in New York, and I was so happy when I saw that picture because the drone that you see in the picture is an M30. That's the drone that you see in the picture, right? And now, I hope those people that think that New York is only flying one certain drone and that's the program they have, now they can start asking questions. But wait a minute, you guys have had DJI for years. You've had success stories with it. Why haven't we heard about it? And I think that's hopefully just these success stories coming out, and the more they come out, and hopefully that's something that can be generated more across the country. That's why I don't know, I hope it has something that changes the legislators' minds and they can see it. But I don't know. I think they're when they're financially influenced, it's gonna be hard to change people's minds, right? I don't know.
It's the beginning of the end of the drone industry.
I hope not.
it could go that way. A murder suicide, if you would, of the drone industry. Um, but that leaves the question for me of where does it end? Because we just saw Rick Scott recently talking about Chinese garlic is a national security threat. So garlic, the spice, it's a national security threat because of quality standards on their garlic. I don't know where does the madness and the reason begin, and I think we can carry it too far. Um, but It's all just unfortunate, but I would say, as always, we are here for our customers. Still, the customers in Florida that no, I can't name names, that have made the choice to continue to use our products because they need to save lives, and they're not going to let something like this get in their way. So they, we're there to support as they need us to, and we're going to continue to support wherever we can. So we would not abandon any of our customers, and I think that's another concern that people have out there, especially when we're looking at like the states that have said, okay, no new sales, but you can phase out. Well, we still need to support them, and that's one of my focuses is to do that.
Have you done this
So is
job
that
before? It seems like you're very, very good at stakeholder engagement. I am a stakeholder, and I'm very engaged right now.
whoa?
It was the fire chief life. Fire chief was a political animal. I had to engage stakeholders from all sides.
So the support is
Nice,
going to continue,
nice.
right?
Heard any cool
That
drone rumors?
Oh yeah, sport is going to continue. Yeah, I mean now realistic. If we end of life a product and somebody still has it, um, they're not going to have as much support as far as new updates or continuing on some of the app development, things like that. But if they have needs, they can call us up and we'll do whatever we can to help them out. So
no, it's good to know.
Great, that's good stuff. Yeah. So, Lewis, let's start gossiping. Got any interesting drone rumors to gossip about?
So
I mean, that's the purpose of this podcast. After all, we're just
I,
gossiping about things that we've heard.
I've I've heard some rumors this week. I heard that there's issues with the supply chain of the M30s, and everybody was freaking out, thinking it was the end of the M30 line, and everybody, I think it was pretty much almost sold out everywhere. So that was a rumor that was floating around, which I've did my own investigating and completely false. I hope, because then I'm gonna look really dumb saying that right now. But yeah, that's probably the biggest rumor I heard. I heard this week that that involves DJI was that there was issues with the M30 and nobody was going to see M30s for a while.
I can't speak to that because now with my job change, I'm not as closely involved with sales, although I'll still be helping our sales team quite a bit as well as marketing. But in the last couple of weeks with my changeover in job roles, I can just tell you that I know there's some good things coming. I finally know, what the good news is coming over the next year, and 2024 is going to be a good year. Unfortunately, I can't talk about those. We don't talk about upcoming products, but I'm excited because I think there's some good things that are really going to benefit our customers.
Does that mean I'm not? Does that mean I'm not going to be able to unbox anything and then send you a video about it anymore? I'm not going to be able to do that. That's done.
That means you and Billy Kyle, and some of the others. I might see it before y'all. So
Yeah. So
Wait,
in the past, there'd be all the influencers with the drones, and I'd hit up Chief Baker, asking, "Hey, you heard about this?" And be like, "No, never got to
nope,
see any of this stuff." But now, with the
no.
promotion from Director of Public Safety to Director of Stakeholder Engagement, now you get all of the gossip.
Now I get to, and it's not just about equipment. I'm also getting to see, some of what we were talking about. Our plan of how we're going to get back out there and make sure people know. Again, like I said, we haven't gone away. We're not going away. We're still here to listen to them and take that feedback back to our R&D I will say I keep fighting for an Enterprise Avata.
Yes.
I don't see that in the future at all. So
There is
hopefully one day I can get that through.
someone out there that is doing some pretty cool things with the Invada. He's making his own enterprise version. So hopefully DJI can just hit him up and maybe have him put some sort of package together for the users. Oh, there. You know
Yeah,
what?
I know of several that are doing some really good things.
Give them a
Yeah,
shout
just
out.
The ones I know, one of the ones I know is Robert Robertson, sergeant at Arlington Police Department. He's working on being able to use the onboard battery for lighting. Then obviously you have lighting providers from Firehouse Technologies, Scott, to you know the others out there that we know and love, that aren't just providing lights for the Avata, but you know, in fact, they're moving right down by us. Fox Fury, right by me, is putting in a new warehouse down in Hillsboro, Texas, just a few miles from the new Bucky's. So there'll be one Bucky's stop away. Um, and then what was the one you knew of, Lewis?
um, Tom is doing all the stuff with the GPS, removing the GPS. He's doing like that floor mode. He even has the thermal camera application that he's doing to it. So he's got some of the videos up in the UAS for public safety Facebook group. And now they have a lot of tactical. I think he's working with a company that's making a lot of tactical add-ons for it, like backpacks. They have the swivel mount for the goggles off of like the tactical helmets. He's all over the UAS for public safety group on LinkedIn too. He's doing some pretty cool mods on the Avata,
That's
and
good stuff. And
he shares a lot of it too. He shares a lot of it too. It's not he's not keeping stuff a secret for him or anything like that.
yeah. Well, and that, I know it's been frustrating for a lot of public safety, frustrating for those of us internally that have been fighting for that Enterprise Avata, but maybe with those kinds of innovations, maybe it's good we don't have one, that it stays a consumer product, because there's guys that can go out and innovate and make those things that are needed. So fingers crossed. There are there are some hopeful changes that I'm pushing, but Grant has been pushing based on feedback from everybody. But
Speaking of
just
Grant,
now
I saw him
noticed
in,
your cat, Bobby. Sorry, my ADD.
he was Grant was in the chat. I saw him
Oh
in the
yeah,
chat.
there's always a cat sleeping. Grant? Are you talking about Grant from DJI? DJI Grant?
Yeah, I saw him in. He was in the chat. He was watching at some point. I don't know if he's still there. Grant's awesome. I think I bother him
I
probably
don't.
as much as you do. As much as I bother you, I think.
Yeah,
I try
Grant
to
doesn't
divide
get
the
enough
time.
credit.
Really?
Grant doesn't get enough credit, but gets enough credit. It's like one of those where, man, he's just such a rock star, and he's my go-to guy. But he and his team do such a great job, that I'm really glad to see he's still here at DJI, with all the people we've lost over the years. From Romeo, who abandoned me, to
Still
some
salty
others
about that 3 years later.
Yeah, I am. That's all right. I'm going to go to his hometown here in a few days in Switzerland, and I'm gonna
Maybe do some
maybe
skiing.
do something like write his name in the snow. No, I would break my neck and my legs. Besides, you have to go up those. What are those gondola things?
Oh yeah, they have
Oh,
some.
I
ski
got
lifts?
scared at the ones in. I got scared at Disney World when their gondolas open, and in my defense, the very next day, like hundreds of people got trapped on those things. So
Oh man, that's crazy. I'm going. Well, I was originally from the East Coast, so being in from New Jersey, went snowboarding every single winter or most winters. So going back for the holidays and excited to go snowboarding again with some friends. We're gonna go hit up I think Blue Mountain, check out their new slaw bunnies. It's a brand new thing.
Lewis, know anything about them?
I'm more of a skier. I'm not a snowboarder. I thought you were gonna say you were gonna go to Camelback or something, Bobby.
Camelback's fine. I mean, all the mountains near New Jersey, like within like an hour or two drive, are just okay. There's nothing special about them. But Blue Mountain has these slaw bunnies, so I'm really stoked to check them out.
Well, you better be COVID free by the time you come back to New Jersey.
Yeah, I should be all right. Oh man, can't do it. Can't get him with it. Either
Well,
he's not
What
hearing me because of his bad internet connection. Everyone, I apologize. Apologize for Lewis's internet. His router died, so he's on a hotspot right now. Looks like a blob right now.
yeah, I was gonna say I can tell he
still bad?
definitely.
Oh, it's no good. It is no good. I just put you on low data mode. Yeah. Ah, well. What can you do? But
I
yeah,
can see the outline of him, but
yeah, he's just frozen in place. It's all good.
What is it
It's
better
all good.
now?
We did a sound check beforehand. It is what it is. It's the podcast.
maybe if he paid less taxes in New Jersey, in Texas compared to what he pays in New Jersey, he can afford a better router.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Every time I'm on a podcast with Wayne, there's something wrong with my Wi-Fi, my internet, whatever. So I don't know. I don't want to start any crazy rumors or anything like that. But it
Conspiracy.
seems like
Yeah.
conspiracies. Yeah, I think you know. So I've it's happened to me on a MacBook and on a Windows computer. So I don't know.
Well, you look better
So
now, so at least there's that.
I disconnected and connected again. I don't know. Um, um,
What are you gonna do?
so at least I think a lot of people are wondering about you stepping out of that director of public safety role and going to something else. Did it mean that DJI didn't care about public safety anymore, or
No.
is Wayne tired? Yeah, I know. Listen, I know that,
Yeah.
but you have these people out there that are easily influenced by these lobbyists and and all that stuff that start thinking right away. Hey, yeah, looks like we're winning against DJI. They moved Wayne out of that position, and maybe they don't care about enterprise sales anymore. So we won. Um, so at least
When I retired, I heard all kinds of rumors. The one was that I was being fired. And that came from a neighboring department group of firefighters, and no, I retired because it was a good move to make for a number of reasons. My mental health being the biggest. Um, now public safety is always going to be a priority with me. Um, Public safety is a priority with DJI because our life saving. We make drones for peaceful purposes. We love seeing our drones, even on the consumer side, being used to save lives. So that's a big part of our mission is making the world a better place. Not just with better vacation photos, but directly impacting those lives saved. So public safety is a big priority. I would say that those that love to see controversy and want to find it, I can give them a lot better controversy out there than that. Just kind of like a few years ago, I purposely trolled, and Bobby might remember this, where I put on Facebook that big news coming in 2 weeks. And all it was is I was going to Disney World. So, people are going to take and make it what they think right from there. So,
Got any trolls coming up? Got any ideas to give our viewers some hints?
oh, not that I would let anybody know about. I think those would be kept the most secret.
Of course. That'd be a rookie mistake.
Yeah. No,
if you survived COVID at DJI, I think you'll make it. You're there to stay.
Yes.
You're there to stay. Wayne's not going anywhere.
Yeah. No. And we've got, again, goes back to talking about Grant. We got a great team. With Grant and his team, my new boss, Regina, is really doing great stuff. We have different priorities here and there on funding of on our marketing side of what we're going to what events we're going to support, but I think there's a lot of good events we're still going to be a part of. They're doing budget right now, so I'm waiting even myself to hear a lot of what we're going to look at being at next year. But one thing is you're probably going to see more of me rather than less of me around public safety. And the cowboy hats are not. Cowboy hats aren't going anywhere. So, I think listen, my shot. Sorry, Mister.
But we saw them. We saw all your Funko Pops in the back too. We see them all on the shelves.
Those are my wife's. So,
also that side is hers, and that side is yours.
Used to be when we were both in this office, and I made her over last October, November, December, and right at Christmas she moved in. Made her a gigantic she shed, more like an apartment.
Oh, I remember that.
Soup to nuts. I built that thing, and got her out of my office. Got my office back. So now I got my gaming chair back there with my big screen. Playing some Days Gone right now. Whacking zombies. Got my 3D printer going, which, by the way...
nice. That DJI money, those promotions.
Yeah, look at that. Now you got a 3D printer.
Moving up in the drone world.
I got to say, Bamboo Labs, I think it's DJI guys that went over there and made a 3D printer, because there's a lot of UI that has DJI look to it, and it's an awesome 3D printer. So I don't think I get any endorsement money for that, but I found out, I think, from Ken Dono about that one.
There's a question in the chat. David Peterson is asking, did you go to China?
No. I was supposed to go right after I got hired in 2019, and in fact, the week we were supposed to go is when COVID hit there first, and they started the lockdown. So, have not been able to make it over. We will see. But I've gotten to go to other good places like Dubai World Police Summit. Paris, which is why I have to go on vacation here Thursday. We're flying to Europe, so we'll do Switzerland, Italy, and Paris for my wife. So I get myself out of that trouble. Yeah. So getting to do some good trips.
Nice. International man of mystery, Chief Wayne Baker, everybody. DJI's Director of Stakeholder Engagement. Thanks for
Well,
joining us today.
He did promise that we're gonna. He did promise that we're gonna see a lot more of him now. So that's
absolutely,
that's great news. Bobby's trying to end the episode because he wants to go rock climbing, but you can't today because you got COVID.
No, I'm gonna lay in bed after this.
You taking any drones on vacation
right now?
What drone are you taking with you on vacation?
No, I thought about it, but I'm trying to pack as light as I can. So, but all I'm gonna take is my Osmo handle that I put my cell phone on. I take all this equipment with me, and that's the thing I use the most. So
I have one too. That's great. I think
we'll see. I might take my Mini if I've got the room.
I take my Air
for Switzerland.
I take my Air 2S everywhere I go.
Oh,
sometimes I don't fly it, but
Air 2,
I have
Air 3.
Yeah. It's a great drone, great camera.
If you need it.
If you need it. Never leave home without it.
Yeah.
Nice and portable. Sweet. All right, everyone. That's Drones After Dark, Season 3, Episode 2 with Chief Baker. You'll be seeing him more often. I'm sure he'll be a recurring guest, as always. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode whenever we announce it, like an hour before.
Surprise.
So, take care, everyone. Sorry. Take care, everyone. We'll see you. Enjoy your holidays.